Hello, I am Genevieve Jessup Marsh, the Outreach Director for Garden City Harvest, and I'm here at Bitterroot Line Garden with my assistant and daughter, Austin. Can you say hi?
Hi.
We've got our garden themed, well, Austin has a cat themed mask on to stay safe during COVID. We've also got gloves to also stay safe.
And to garden.
And what?
And to garden.
And to garden, because it's nice to wear gloves when you're gardening sometimes. All right, we are in front of this fantastic shed. Austin, my helper, is ready to show you how to unlock the lock. So we won't show the combination because this will be on YouTube, but she will complete the combination.
Ready?
And then she's going to squeeze the lock together and then it'll snap apart. This one's a pretty basic one. There we go. There we go. Open.
Put that over
And then
there.
we'll open it up. Now all the things that you will need.
Wait. One more thing.
Oh, wait.
Put the lock back on here, but don't close it.
Yes, good point. Now, first thing you'll see on your right, as soon as you walk in, is where the garden is. So if you need to call an ambulance or something, some emergency is happening, you can know where to direct the emergency personnel. And then your community garden managers are right here, Emily and Lauren, and then community garden safety rules and information. And then this is always handy, the MRL, sorry, it's now called the Bitterroot Line, but originally it was either temporary name was MRL. This handy dandy map so you can figure out where everybody is and where you are, where the water is. You can see this is super well organized and looking ship shape in Bristol fashion. And let's keep it that way. A great use of your service hours is to tidy it up if it ever does get a little bit messy in here. Okay guys, we are right behind the shed. There's Austin. There's a bunch of tomato cages and some other stuff that you can maybe use for
like
trellising or whatever in your garden. Austin's holding it up.
There's big ones and smaller ones.
There's big ones, small. There's all sorts of stuff back there.
And also
There's some that are
tangled.
colored.
Yep, yellow, purple, green. But they're
There's some
also very
stakes.
tangled. So you have to kind of pull it out to get the other one.
Yep. So
Yeah.
these are all resources you're welcome to use as a gardener here at the Bitterroot Line Gardens. Just want to make sure you knew that that is also sort of part of the tool stash right behind the shed.
Some of these have numbers like 32 and 31, 30. And some don't. But that's only because if they don't, then that's because the one in front of it is the same one as behind it. So this one's 31 and this one's 31.
Yeah.
Because this one up front says 31, so this one's 31.
Austin brings up a great point. These are all abilities gardening beds. Great for if you're in a wheelchair or if you need a little bit of height so that you don't have to bend over a bunch of times. Two of these smaller plots equal one of the larger plots. So 30 is, Austin, do you want to point at 30, the one right behind you? 30 is this one and that one.
And also,
And 29, which is the next one behind, is this one and the one behind it. where Austin is. Yep.
Okay.
Perfect.
Also something else. All things grow better with love.
All things grow better with love.
And you can always remember that by the sign.
Yes. All right, everybody, here we are at the compost. Just to give you a little orientation, you can kind of see where we are in the garden. You'll see it as soon as you walk in that gate, though. Both the gates are there, and then if you turn around, there's the compost. Hard to miss. Okay, one of the great advantages to being a gardener here is you get to bring your kitchen scraps, and it helps both you and your garbage situation and us, because if you just put weeds in plants, or sorry, you never put weeds in the compost, but if you just put your plants once they're done producing in the compost and some hay or straw, it just doesn't work very well. So having kitchen scraps is fantastic. I will say, Austin is going to talk to you about something in a minute, but we have some compostable plates in here. That's a great example of something that actually shouldn't be put in the compost. Any kind of paper product. Is Austin saying no? Those compostable bags, those are fantastic in an industrial strength composter where things get super hot and break down a lot faster. But in our small garden scale compost, this doesn't work. Austin, do you want to show how does it move? We move from this first bin on the left, then you scoop it. If you want to use your service hours, this is a great way. Scoop it from that bin
With a shovel
into the next bin. So all of that we get moved over here so it can continue to break down. It's great to give it a turn every once in a while, even within the bin. And then once this got full and had broken down a little bit,
like that one, kind of.
then you move it. Austin, you want to show to the next?
Which is empty
It's
right
empty
now.
right now. That's right.
But
So
it will break down.
it'll break down, and once this is starting to look like soil, then we put it in the last bin, and that's an indication if there's stuff in here, you can take it and use it in your garden.
Get a shovel and
Maybe a wheelbarrow, shovel and a wheelbarrow. Yeah.
Shovel, get your wheelbarrow, put it in, fill up your garden.
Okay, you guys. So Austin is next to the weeds pile. We will get the sign cleaned off soon so that you can actually read it. She's scrubbing it off. So this is where your weeds go instead of in the compost pile. Please no weeds in the compost pile because then the seeds spread back into your garden. We don't want that. So weeds go here. Right now it's a lot of straw because I think people are cleaning their plots out and putting the straw here. On the other side of the weed pile is the rock pile. This is a great place to put your rocks. It's also a great place to get rocks if you need some for your backyard project. You can see that this shed is right in the background, so you know where you are. But if we appreciate not putting larger rocks in the pathways just for mobility issues, tripping hazards, things like that. It's so much easier if they get put here instead, consolidated. So that's where you put your rocks.
Also, please put them in here instead of out here.
Go for it.
Okay, we're about to show you how to turn this on and off and different things about this hose thing. But know that getting this, especially for a child like me, it's very hard to pull up and down.
Okay. So right now we're right behind the shed and in the plots, in the in-ground plot area, and at one of the first hose frost-free hydrants that you'll encounter. Now,
in front of bed 4.
we're between bed 3 and 4. So when you Austin, do you want to show them how to turn on the frost-free portion? There's
So,
two
here.
areas you can turn on.
And
Frost-free, ta-da!
just-
As Austin said, this is kind of a challenge to open and close. You really have to use your
Especially
muscle
right
power.
here.
Especially right there. And you want to, Austin, can you close it one more time? Oh!
It's really hard to close.
She's using her muscles. So when it's closed, you can see through that little hole right there where her finger is.
So you can see.
Yeah.
Like what?
And if it's not all the way down, it's not all the way closed. Okay,
So
now
it's not-
Austin, once you have that on, which it's off right now, but let's turn it back on. And then if you don't see water coming out, check this little hose on or off her and see how she just turned that on.
This one.
Then your hose should run.
So
you
it's
both
off.
can turn
So it's this way,
off.
then on.
Okay, so when
Pointing.
you're in the garden, make sure you turn both the frost-free on and off and that hose on and off. All right, you guys, we are right along the fence in the front of the garden near the road, near Johnson Street. Yep,
As you
Austin's
can
pointing
see.
at Johnson Street.
And in front is the best thing.
Can't Make a Dream is right behind us, over here. Doo-doo. And so we're in front of the community plots right now. There's some nice herbs and stuff up front right here. And then Austin is going to run along the raspberries and show us
Be
raspberries, raspberries, raspberries.
Be careful.
More herbs on the back side. So this is what we call our community plots, which means they're a great place to weed, water, throw a hose on here while you go weed in your garden and then come back. And you can count that as your service hours. There's also some strawberries in here, I forgot to mention. And a nice weed, too. Lots of weed, but lots of strawberries. So feel free to have some of these raspberries and strawberries and herbs. They are a great community resource. Probably not great for canning or making jam, that's a lot, but great for having a snack with your family, taking a pint home, things like that.
Picnic for
Picnic.
snacks.
Yep. So a little bit for everybody, and it's a great thing that you don't have to take up space in your garden. Then when you want to exit the shed and leave and no one else is in the garden, what do you do, Austin? That's right.
Handle.
You close it
Get the lock out.
and you lock it. Now Austin's not going to lock it in this case, but you would switch the numbers around so you can actually. Thanks so much for gardening with us and have a great season. Bye for now.